Morning. Got a big one today. Got like a 3-car drive, I suppose. We're going to do this little bit here as well, just because this is like a shared side entrance. And then we've got some slabs around the back. Looking a bit green, but I think they're going to come up nice. These are like grey and yellow. I've cleaned these before. This colour. So it wraps all the way around the side of the house. Got the back bit to do. And then we're going to be doing all this as well. Lots of spots. I bought another tub of hypo yesterday, so just in case we end up using all the other one that I've got. I haven't quoted for it, but I think I'm going to do the top of this wall as well, just to make this area nice and lovely. We're not going to do around this side. Not going to do all that. We're just going to do these steps and then these steps, because these are the same slabs as these, whereas those are different. Yeah, I'm just filling up the tank now. My new 40-metre hose from Precious Pressure Washers in Stafford gets me all the way through to the back garden, which is lovely. I've got a 10-metre extension as well, just in case it doesn't reach, but it's a nice thick 2-wire hose. I think we've got half decent water pressure, so it shouldn't take too much longer, I don't think. So we've got a bit of hypo left in this one. Full one over there. I've got the Surf Boost additive to foam it up, make it all nice and soapy. And I think I might need to whip the gutter vac out today, just because these bits down here, I think it might be worth clearing these out before we start, because they've got quite a lot of chaff in them. And I want good drainage. Everything slopes towards the house, so I want to make sure these are clean. Should be a good one, stick around. I bought myself a new turbo nozzle from PWS the other day. Absolute game changer. It's a totally different experience from the cheap one that I had before. I don't know what it is, because it's the same nozzle size. I think it was a 045, which is the same as my old one. But there seems to be a difference in quality. And it spins smoother. But you'll see later on in the video, it gets the work done so much quicker. And I can't explain it, honestly, I can't. It's definitely worth the extra 20 or 30 quid. 100%. If you haven't got one already, go and get one. You can see there's still quite a few black spots left over after the surface cleaner has done a pass, and I'll treat these in just a minute with a 4-to-1 mix of hypo with a splash of that Surf Boost surfactant to try and get it to foam up a bit. I noticed that on the first application I didn't get much foam, and then towards the end I must have been getting the residue from what was left in the gardener backpack, but I got a bit more foam towards the end, and I do try and shake it once I've poured it all into the backpack. But sometimes it just needs. I think when it's cold, when it's been sat in the van and it's cold, it can tend to go a bit gloopy, and it doesn't mix very well with the product. So maybe I'll warm that up before I come out, or I could ask the customer if I can boil their kettle, just to help it along a little bit. Right, just having a little break now. Finished the back, letting the hypo do its thing. It's come up absolutely perfect. It's beautiful. Couldn't ask for a better result. The hypo's only been down for like 20 minutes and it's already got rid of all the black spots. The only thing I can still see is some slight white patches and a bit of yellow here. Well, some more white over here. But I've got to come back over here to rinse down anyway. And there's a little bit of moss that I've left in the cracks here. So when I rinse this down, I'll probably just rinse it with a turbo nozzle just so I can turbo all these bits of moss out, but proper happy with that. It's come up well nice. Still got this wall to clean up as well. Got all the overspray on there. Look at the steps, man. Beautiful. I was live streaming on TikTok the other day and we got onto the subject of running your own business, and it made me think of when I left school, and while I was in school actually, the whole goal and the aim of my education was to push me towards university and sort of higher education and stuff. But if I'd have known that running your own business was a valid option, I'd have done this so long ago. I thought running your own business was super complicated, and it was only presented to me as, oh, you've got to sort of invent something, or you've got to be super intelligent. And that's not the case at all. Like, yes, it's hard work, and what I've found is that you don't really switch off like you can in other jobs. You think about it all the time. It's the last thing you think about when you go to sleep, and it's the first thing that you think about when you wake up. But that's fine because it's my thing, it's like my journey. Whereas if you're thinking about work and you're taking it home with you and it's the last thing you think about before you go to sleep, but it's someone else's company, or you're working for another business, and the reason you're thinking about it so much is because it's stressful and it's difficult and you're worrying, I think that's where it's a bit different. And looking back, I've realised that even in school, I've always had a sort of weird entrepreneurial kind of creative mindset where I don't think doing anything ordinary would have suited me. I think I'd always be unhappy just doing something mundane and ordinary. But I fell into like just retail and just boring supermarket work, did a little bit of management, and it just didn't feel like me at all. And it took me about 11 years, 12 years maybe, of working these regular jobs and getting to like a limit of what you can earn, but still having to do the same amount of hours per week, and just really not being inspired by anything. It took me literally to my 30th birthday when I realised actually to create something and build something and make something of yourself, you've got to commit to it, and you can't have any distractions. You've got to commit to one thing. And throughout my whole life, I've tried various different ventures, and they've all failed because I've never been committed, never been fully committed, because I was scared of investing too much time into something that was going to fail. And so this time, it was around my 30th birthday, I just thought, right, life's too short, let's just do it. Even if it's for 12 months, if it's for 12 months, I'm going to commit to this pressure washing thing. I can make money, just grind. Just do it on evenings and weekends. Save your money and see where it goes. And I'm just wondering really how many of you guys are in a similar position where you feel a little bit trapped or stuck or unhappy with your current job, like I was, and whether you're thinking, whether you've been inspired by any of my videos to sort of go off and do your own thing, work your own hours, earn your own money, manage your own time, all that sort of stuff. I'm just wondering how many of you are thinking about starting your own business, and if you are, I'd like to read about it in the comments, so make sure you post it below. And if I've played any part in that, then that was my goal really with this channel, is to try and show people that there's an alternative. And whilst it's not very glamorous, getting filthy and wet all day, it's mine, and it's something I really enjoy doing. It's very satisfying, it's well paid, I see my family a lot more than I used to, so it's a win-win for all of us. Right, just been made another coffee, beautiful. I finished the cleaning, just got the rinse down to do now. I'll show you. So it still looks a bit rough, but it's because the drive's totally covered in muck still. And these aren't black spots, these are just bits of dirt. There's actually no black spots on this drive that I haven't been able to get up, which is nice. This rinse down is going to be very satisfying, I reckon. I've been thinking again recently about a subject I brought up a few videos ago, just regarding the need to constantly upgrade and to keep reinvesting the money back into the business. And me and my girlfriend were having a chat about it the other night, and she asked, when are you going to start enjoying your earnings? That's the whole point in sort of, well, that's one of the reasons that you go into business and you start running your own thing, is to make more money than you would ordinarily. And when do you get to a point where you can start enjoying that money without sort of worrying? Because I see a lot of other people in this industry spending that absolute fortune, constantly upgrading and searching for the next thing that's going to make their lives easier, the next piece of equipment. And there's always something on the market. There's always something there ready to be bought in the back of your mind, whether it's to expand your services into gutter cleaning or roof cleaning equipment, which is really expensive, or you want to invest in a boiler so you can use steam, hot water instead of just cold water, or you get a bigger van to fit all that new equipment in. And it's like, at what point do you actually just keep all that money to one side and enjoy it and live your life, and buy yourself nice things and take yourself and your family on holiday? And because I'm struggling with that bit. I'm struggling with the idea of not putting all the money back into the business for a rainy day. I went into this year with the mindset that, okay, winter was difficult, I'm going to have a really good year because I'm starting from January this year rather than going full time later in the year like I did last year. I'm starting from January, I'm going to have a really strong year, and I'm hopefully going to earn enough where I don't have to do much throughout the winter 2023, and I can sort of survive. But it's strange to think about, because I'm literally paying myself the bare minimum that I can get away with paying myself at the moment, just to cover my bills and give me a little bit of sort of spending money, and I'm leaving everything else in the business. And the reason for that is because last year I decided that I was going to reduce all my direct debits. I was going to properly manage my money and be fully on top of my finances. And it meant that now I can pay myself a lot less than I was earning in my previous job, and still leave all the profit in the business. And it's like, when at what point do you start enjoying that money? Like, do I save all that additional income and reinvest it into the equipment, or am I satisfied with the setup that I've got right now? And I think I am, I don't think I want to expand any further. I think I want to get really good at just patios and driveways and gutters, really, because roof cleaning introduces all these new things, like the need for a tower, the need for, potentially a foot pedal and more extendable poles and different size surface cleaners, and you need a bigger, it just seems like a lot of additional stuff when I'm quite satisfied with the services I offer at the minute. I'm really good at what I'm doing at the moment, and all of my customers are happy, so why not just keep it that way? Why try and stretch myself too thin? I was also thinking about expanding and bringing more people on and having multiple teams going out, but it's just more overheads and more risk. I don't know if it's more reward, to be honest, but I don't know, because I'm not in that position. It could be a great idea, but I just don't know if I'm ready for it, Okay, we're all done. It's all rinsed off. See a good difference. Now I'm just going to head around the back and rinse all the hypo off. We're all done. Everything's rinsed down. Come up absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Really pleased with that. This area was covered in black spots. Beautiful. The steps as well. Still got a few black spots down on the steps, but I'm not too worried about that. Thanks for watching. I'm just going to clean the road down and we can head off. Neighbours asked me to give them a quote for theirs as well, so I'm just going to take a few pictures and measure up, and then I'm going to head off. Road's clear, everything's done. Customer's happy. Beautiful.